Hello and welcome back to Alex Goes Sailing. Right, it's the next day, and today's the day that we're actually going to head back to the mainland because the weather's a little spicy on wind, and then I think it's Thursday. It's a big old storm coming through at 35 knots, and it is lovely here. It'd be great to stay. You can see the bottom, it's that nice. But it's decent wind at the minute, 10 knots on the nose when we're in the anchorage. We're going to head out that way towards mainland, and we should be just down from a beam, I think, with the wind. So maybe not the fastest of sails with this amount of wind, but it says it's going to fill in a little bit later, so we should have about 6 hours sailing to get there. We're going to go to the Mound, just round from Penzance, and there are a few anchorages we can stop at on the way if you don't want to go as far, because we're going to spend a couple of days in that bay before we head around the Lizard. So that's the plan, because we're going to try and make our way all the way back to Brighton. Right, start the engine. First time. Running good. We can hear water. Indeed we can. I'm gonna head up the front. We strap the dinghy down on deck and put the outboard on the back. And gotta access the anchor locker, which we do with this. I put over here, to over there, and we got access here. Now we have got the hook on it at the minute. We should just switch this doohickey on. Right, we'll undo this, get it back on board. Stick you down in there, my darling, like so, and then we'll get it moving. I think that's the anchor there. Right, just like that, we're leaving the Scillies. Gonna navigate these rocks, we're gonna shoot this gap. But bye-bye anchorage, bye-bye the Scillies. And on we go. Wind's being a little bit weird, too much motor to we're out there a little bit for the wind, but we'll get the sails up hopefully. Right, the wind has finally filled in. Probably an hour or two later than it was forecasted for, but it came and we're sailing, doing 6.5 knots. We got a bit of current helping us up this way a little bit, but full sails. We even got the bigger 130% apparently Genoa. I think it's about right. So we're zooming along. I do need to put it up on the halyard or change how it's attached on the bottom there, because it's just a little bit loose, so it's not very taut. So I need to find a little Dyneema soft shackle thing that I've got, and a shorter version of what that one is, and it should do the job because I think it's pretty close at the top of the mast. But yeah, just sailing along slowly and gracefully. There's the Lizard down there, and we are going that way to the Mound, I think it is, and we're just going to cruise, try and keep off the land a little bit so we can keep some wind, but to see how we do. We're in 44 meters of water and we're just cruising along. This is Savvy Navi. And just go around this point and turn up into the wind so we can go a little bit quicker. We're only at 90 degrees at the minute with 10 knots of wind, 6.8, 6.9. Oh, winning some races here we are. Right, it's dinner time on board this fine vessel contain, and we've got pesto pasta, chicken, and some, what do you call those things?
Zucchini.
Vegetables? And cheese, I love cheese. Right, we've turned up into the wind, we've got 10 knots of it, and it's at 60 degrees. I don't know how accurate, need to calibrate it I think, but close enough. But we've got Big Janelle still up, doing good. We've got the main pulled in, somewhat tight, probably need to adjust the car at some point, but not too bad. Dodging fishing boat there, one over there and whatnot, but we're pulling in to the anchorage, so it's time to bring in the sails and get ready to drop the hook. So we've dropped hook in 6 meters beneath the keel. We're set to drop another 4 meters, so we should have at least 2-ish or so meters clearance. So a little bit taller than me, which is pretty good. Clear water, we've got to watch out for these rocks here, but the wind for tomorrow should be blowing from that direction, out that way, and then the storm should be coming from that way, which is perfect and good protection, and you can't get much closer to land. The mound is just behind us up there, looks pretty cool. The harbour here, we've missed these 3 mooring balls, which is good. Town's just there, so I'm gonna go dump the leftover food into the sea for the fishies, or crabs probably, and tidy up a bit, have a shower, because we just ran the engine for a little bit, so it should be a little bit warm, so I can have a nice hot shower. Got to be conservative on the water, because we haven't installed the water maker yet, but that is on the list. But yeah, lovely, it's blowing 6-ish knots at the minute, so that's what we were sailing in, and it's simply lovely. So we dropped anchor right in front of St. Michael's Mound, and it really does look like something out of a film. This little tidal island off the coast of Cornwall has been a landmark for sailors for over 1,000 years, and it rises straight out of the sea, and it's topped with a castle, and it's got a lot of history to go with it too. The area around Mounts Bay was part of the ancient tin trade, maybe even as far back as the Bronze Age. Some believe the mount itself may have been a trading hub, though we can't say for sure. Now, the legendary bit, around the 8th century, a group of fishermen claimed they saw an Archangel Michael standing on top of the mount. Now, can you imagine that? You're out in the sea fishing, and it's quite foggy out, and suddenly there's a glowing figure waving from a rocky island. I don't think I believe that one, but anyway. A few centuries later, in 1067, the mount was gifted to Benedictine monks of Mount St. Michael in Normandy, which is why it probably reminds you of the one over in France, but this is the Cornish cousin, a little bit smaller as well. The mount has been through pirate threats, siege during the Wars of Roses, and even played a role in the English Civil War when it was held by royalist forces. Queen Elizabeth I had it fortified just in case the Spanish Armada decided to drop by, so what's quite peaceful now probably wasn't way back then. From the top of the castle you can see right across the bays, you get a full view of it all, which is also why it's quite a strategic location as well, being able to see all the way into the distance. One of the cool things about this place is when the tide's out you can actually walk across the stony causeway from the mainland, but we ended up going by dinghy. We just pulled the dinghy into the little harbour out front and tied it up to one of the ladders, and on we went. Now it's quite a magical morning getting up and checking this place out. I definitely recommend it if you're passing by, it's definitely worth the visit. A lot of people tend to cut right across the bay and go around the Lizard, back to Falmouth to hide from weather and so on, but it's definitely worth it if you're going to come back from the cities. But anyway, that's it for this episode. Thanks for watching, and I hope you're enjoying it. We've only got a little ways to get back to Brighton, so I look forward to seeing you then. Thanks for watching.